Hi guys, it's Matt from Six Senses Design. I'm back again with a more in-depth look at step 1 in my 7-step garden design guide. If you want an overview of the 7 steps, click the link below or in the description. So step 1 is all about sourcing inspiration and finding ideas you want to test in your backyard. This step will be broken down into 3 sections: garden styles, activities and features, and resources. The process you follow is very simple. You find a design style or material palette you like, and then choose some basic activities you want to do in your garden and some visual features you want to see. To help you find inspiration and ideas to test, I'll go over 2 main resource options: imagery, such as photos and videos, and reality, which is the physical world around you. Let's have a look at garden styles. The easiest way is to start with existing images you have and look for something similar. If you have an image you like, Google Image allows you to search for similar images in the Google Image page. Upload the image you like, using the option here to search for it on your computer, and see what other images come up. Google Images often provides different views of the same garden, as well as other gardens with similar styles. If you don't know what you like, head over to landscapenetwork.com, or even just Google garden styles. This should give you enough styles to start exploring. The key here is to start with what you don't like, and cross off anything that doesn't appeal to you first. Keep narrowing down options until you find a few core styles you do like. It's often easier to find what you like through a process of elimination. Once you have a few basic styles, write down a few points about why you like each of them. It can be really simple. I like straight lines, I like natural shapes and curves, I love colour, I prefer mixed plantings, I prefer mass plantings. Keep it simple to help you define for yourself what you like about each style. But don't go too in depth just yet. All you want from a style is a set of rough guidelines, or perhaps a material or colour palette to work with. Before you begin, don't forget to look at your house. Make sure the styles you are looking at don't clash with your house style. You want to extend your building design elements into the garden. So don't mix a cottage garden with a modern house, for example. Make a small list of the materials and colours around your house from both outside and inside. Using indoor materials in your backyard is a great way to connect both areas, creating a nice flow and more contemporary feel. As you can see in a few examples here. The easiest way is to continue your floor and/or ceiling material outside. Once you have it, keep this list handy and ready to reference when you start designing. So by now, you should have a few different styles you want to explore and some materials and colours you can work with. And now it's time for section 2. Activities and features. Activities are things you want to do in your backyard, whereas features are visual things you want to see. Activities are things you have to leave the house to use, while features are visual elements, things you see from inside but don't engage with. Examples of activities could be entertaining area, a barbecue or dining area, a hammock, a kids' play area, or a vegetable garden. Examples of features could be feature trees, planting beds, sculptures, or water features. Features work well as items you can look at from the house without needing to go outside. They can also draw people into and help to lead them through a garden, along a path, or into another area that may be hidden from the house. Take a few minutes to come up with your own list of activities and features you want to try in your backyard. While you do it, don't be scared to add a few dream options. Things you can't afford but would love to have. You never know. Maybe in a few years, your situation will change and you may be able to implement these ideas. After all, it's just a drawing. So dream a little. What's the worst that could happen? Now that you have a few styles and your list of activities and features, it's time to really consider the resources you have when looking for ideas. I've broken them into 2 main categories: imagery and reality. Imagery refers to photos or videos. Any source you find that's visual and somewhere you can't physically go. The best place to look for imagery is the internet. Design websites, specific blogs, social media like Pinterest or Facebook, YouTube, or simply type any style, activity or feature into Google and you'll have a list of places to check and collect imagery. Images are a great source of inspiration and ideas, but there are some issues with single images you need to be aware of. There are some dangers with simply copying image designs and pasting them straight into your backyard. The biggest danger is the image often comes with no context. You don't know where it is, who it is for, the budget, the climate, the design process, or the construction process, among other things. I've explored this in more detail on my website, with links to these articles in the description below. Despite the potential problems, images are plentiful and can help you develop many different ideas to try in your garden. Videos are not as common, but can be useful. They are generally promotional, focusing on a designer or client. They usually provide more views of the garden than images, and are better than a series of images because they show the garden in motion. They highlight the effects of wind, sunlight and shadow, which give you a much better feel for the space. The second resource you can use for inspiration is reality. Reality is the physical world you walk through every day, and it doesn't just refer to backyards or gardens. You can find inspiration even in urban environments such as city or streetscapes. Reality can be hard to define as it focuses on spatial and emotional elements, many of which you don't even notice throughout your day. Many spaces in a city evoke a particular response from people passing through them. They can be warm and friendly, arousing curiosity and inviting you to explore. They can be calm and humbling, promoting quiet reflection. They can be open, empty and isolating, a place you don't want to spend time in. Or maybe small and intimate spaces, inviting you to stay longer. If you begin to notice how certain areas make you feel, you can look closer at how the space is evoking these feelings. If you find a feeling you enjoy and want in your backyard, take notes on what is around you. Likewise, if you don't enjoy a space, notice why, and don't repeat that in your backyard. Another benefit to using your personal experience in a garden design is you can measure, with your body, the size and scale of a space. It gives you a good sense of how things fit together far better than an image. You can test dimensions of objects, like seat or table heights, widths and lengths, and see if they are comfortable for you and how you plan to use them. This is certainly harder than looking at imagery online, but it can be very helpful when it comes to understanding and designing how you actually use your garden. Being aware of how different sizes and scales can impact you emotionally allows you to create spaces that evoke feelings you want people to experience. These two resources cover nearly all sources of inspiration. Using both will help you find more than enough inspiration and ideas for your garden. File them by style or activity, and in step 2, we'll look at how to unpack them to get some good criteria for the different areas or activities in your garden. Finally, before finishing up, I'd like to go through the mindset you need to have when you start looking for ideas and inspiration. You'll probably come across many articles starting with 38 garden design ideas or 22 outdoor decor ideas. These articles are very popular because we love lists and we love options. Despite this, they can be problematic if used incorrectly, so you need to understand what they are offering. These articles offer you solutions to a problem, a finished product to copy and paste into your garden for fabulous results. The issue is, they're not necessarily answering your specific problem, and the results you get don't answer your specific questions. And unfortunately, this is a common approach people take when designing their gardens. They identify what they want and look for individual solutions for each area. They then plug them in, one at a time, over a number of years. Some they don't even complete, leaving a half-finished project sitting in the corner of the backyard, waiting to be fixed a few years later. The fix follows the same approach, and so the cycle continues. What many people are left with is a backyard that has no continuity or cohesion. There's no link from one area to another. It's full of random activities and features that have no relationship with the local environment. What you need to understand is that a design is like a plan. It allows you to work in steps, to create a framework that ties everything together. Then, no matter if you do your whole backyard at once, or take many years to implement each stage, you will end up with cohesive spaces that work well together. So what you are looking for from your images is ideas, flexible concepts you can adapt to your backyard. We will explore this more in step 2, but to help, consider the following. Is this idea a cut and paste solution to a problem? Does it have any relationship to my environment? And can I change a part of it and it will still work? You want to answer no to the first and yes to the rest. Then you have a flexible idea. So that's it for step 1. Remember to use a reality as a source of inspiration, and when looking at imagery, try to find things that are flexible ideas rather than cut and paste solutions. Search by design style and by activities or features you want to try in your garden. Get more than you need and you'll have plenty of ideas when it comes to designing. I hope you found this useful, and thanks again for watching. Please visit my website at howtogardendesign.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more original garden design content.